Spider-Man Homecoming. So Spider-Man Homecoming is the newest reboot in the Spider-Man franchise, and it's the first time Spider-Man is now in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in the same universe where the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy are in. I wasn't really looking forward to this film that much. One, the marketing of this film, I'm just going to say it was terrible. None of the trailers got me hooked. The first trailer was like, okay, it looks okay, but then the next following trailers, it didn't do anything for me. And the posters, terrible Photoshop, they were bad as well, but I was still going to give the film a chance. So when I finally went to go see it, I was like, alright, let's put that bad marketing aside, let's just watch the film. And I gotta say, I actually enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's start off with the positives first. The acting from the cast was actually good. There was no one in the cast that acted bad. Tom Holland as Spider-Man Peter Parker, he was definitely one of the highlights of the film. He proves in this film that he can carry his own film and he is a star in the making. And also Tom Holland did a great job in playing Spider-Man who is inexperienced. In those scenes where he's like, because this is his first time being a big superhero, he's like, what do I do and everything? He did a really good job in those scenes. And Michael Keaton was amazing because it's Michael Keaton. Finally, freaking finally, an MCU film has a good villain. You can have a bad villain but still have a really good film. But then when you put extra work into creating a great villain, it really helps out the film a lot. And it really did for this film because you understood where the Vulture was coming from. You're like, okay, I can see why he's doing the things he's doing. There's a part where they actually make you care for him. And there's a scene between Tom Holland and Michael Keaton that's my favorite part of the entire film. And in that scene, it gave me chills. The Vulture is definitely up there, top 3, hell, top 2 of the MCU villains. And surprisingly, the humor in this film wasn't so overbearing because from the trailers, the humor was like, oh, okay, it's a lot of the jokes are not gonna hit well. And while there was definitely some cases where the jokes didn't work, most of the time the jokes worked. Because when it came to the film being serious, they didn't actually throw a joke in for the sake of throwing a joke in. I was like, oh my god, am I watching an MCU film? And one of the things that I was worried about with this film was that, okay, it's going to be an Iron Man 4 film. It's going to be Tony Stark's film. But luckily, he's not in the film that much. And for the scenes that he was in, though they weren't my favorite parts in the film, they were fine. And it made sense as to why Tony was in the film. I thought the film did a good job in the high school segments where Peter is like, okay, yeah, finally we have a Spider-Man film where Peter actually feels like he's a high school student and we get to see him doing his high school stuff. And what I really liked in the film is that it showed that Peter, he's a high school student, but sometimes he misses out in being a kid because he's got to be Spider-Man. Those scenes really worked for me. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting them to show that, but they did. When it comes to the final act of the film, there are stakes, there's emotion there between the villain and the hero. And that's something we don't usually get in a lot of these MCU films. And because, like how I said, they always throw in jokes in and it always takes away from the stakes. But in this film, like how I said, the humor is not overkill. So in those moments where it needs to be emotional, it worked. And that's what I really, really liked. Now let's get on to my negatives. I definitely do think the first half is definitely the weakest portion of the film. It's what you come to expect from an MCU film. Nothing was really breathtaking or out of this world. It was like, okay, decent. Like in the first half, they introduced some certain jokes and then they keep repeating it. It's like, okay, it wasn't that funny the first time. Now they keep on going. It's like, okay, really? The final action set piece was actually great, but the rest of the action in the film was okay, but nothing where I was like, okay, that was great. Also, too, the score of the film was pretty forgettable. There's this great opening theme that they have in the beginning of the film that I was like, I like that a lot. That was the best piece of music that I've heard in any MCU score in a long time. And they don't even use it. It's like, what the hell? And there are moments in the film where the CGI is not that good. But there are moments in the film where you're like, okay, how the hell? This is 2017. That thing looks like PS3 graphics. And there are a lot of moments in the film where it tries to give you these surprises, but they're pretty predictable. So overall, Spider-Man Homecoming was definitely way better than I was expecting it to be. The first half of the film was definitely the weakest portion. The pacing was a bit off and there wasn't really anything great in that section of the film. But once the second half kicks in, the film goes from being decent to really good. So I'm going to give Spider-Man Homecoming a solid B. This is definitely a film I recommend seeing. Of course, it's Spider-Man. People are going to go see it, obviously. But it's definitely worth spending your money on. So guys, that was my review for Spider-Man Homecoming. What did you guys think of the film? Did you guys like it or you guys didn't like it? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for taking the time out of the day to watch my video. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.